Stars of Storrs are back in action tonight in the TBT. We have Mark D'Amelio talking about it with us here on the Hoopscat. You don't want to miss it.
Let's get it, 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 let's get it. Yeah. UConn, baby. Home of the champions. Let's go.
All right, welcome in, Mark D'Amelio, live on location from the TBT. How you doing, Mark?
I'm awesome, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Listen, I think everyone's really excited about seeing some basketball with some of their favorite players from UConn past, and you've kind of put this all together. The second year of doing this. We were supposed to kind of have a conversation a couple days ago, and it's okay. Like I'm so excited that it happened after you guys played, because I think the team looks great. I think there has to be like a preparation that is involved. Talk to me about like everything that went into getting this together, and just kind of give me the 30,000-foot view of what this team looks like going into tonight's game.
Yeah, it's, getting a team together, especially a UConn affiliated team, isn't as easy as you'd think, especially, it's good that the fact that it's hard for us to get players, because we've been really good, and the majority of our recent players, not the majority, but a large portion of them are in the NBA. So the household names like Tristan Newton, Donovan Clingan, even Adama Sanogo, guys, the list goes on of people that are just not eligible to play. And the other aspect of this is this is a fast-paced game with players that are ready to play, young players. So we learned a lot from last year going into this year, and I think we got a really good team, good mix of UConn guys with some new guys that we really, really love.
Talk to me about, we'll get into what people want to hear about, which is the game tonight. Who are you guys playing? And, what goes into all of this? Obviously the GM, but Tyler Olander, a two-time NCAA champion, is the head coach. How do you guys prepare this group that basically just got cobbled together to face good competition in this pro tournament?
Yeah, great questions. First of all, we're playing the Green Mountain Men, which is a Vermont alumni team. They're good. They're really good. And the thing that makes them concerning is they've been playing together. Some of the players, Vermont's Division One. They're a good team up there, and they play other good teams. So, and they have the majority of their players are from Vermont, so they've had time to play together. So that is the first thing. Second thing, though, is we do have Tyler and an incredible coaching staff with Jake and Steve and Jeff Calhoun, which is awesome to have a Calhoun on the coaching staff. So these guys, I got Steve right next to me over here. He's prepared right now. So we have an incredible coaching staff. So I was really proud and excited to work with these guys.
So you mentioned how hard it is to kind of put together a team of UConn guys, because, we've been fortunate enough to have guys that played at a high level and haven't been, are still playing. Outside of that, though, what have you guys learned from last year to this year?
Yeah, I don't want to be ageist, but it's youth, man. It really is. It's like, we had some players last year that were household names for us at UConn, but just, couldn't keep up with the likes of some young guards from Penn State last year. And now we brought in a young man like Jordan Jones from Central Connecticut, who's his conference player of the year, who's just like, he's a beast. So a couple with guys like Ryan Boatright. So you just got to you saw it against ground ballers. They just were guards, were shooting quick all over, great defense. So that's what you need, and that's what we've learned. So it's a balance of me and the coaching staff are stuck with do we want to make this a UConn centric team now and risk the potential of us to win, or do we want to win and build a brand coupled with UConn guys? And we've chosen to reach out to as many UConn people. I mean, we were last minute with Adama Sanogo, and I thought he was gonna get on a plane to come. RJ Cole got married. He will be here Wednesday morning for hopefully if we get through Vermont to play against Syracuse. This place is going to be insane on Wednesday. If and hopefully, knock on wood, it is UConn versus Boeheim's Army.
Yeah, that's going to bring back some nostalgia for my brand, which is Big East Energy, and a former Big East rival in Syracuse with Boeheim's Army. I believe didn't the same thing kind of happen to them, where Buddy Boeheim kind of came in late and kind of went crazy for them in their first game.
Yeah, I think so. It was wild, and I think the message that I want to get to Connecticut, we didn't. By the time we got on for TBT the first year, they already had Pittsburgh set, and that was a year prior. This year, we tried to get it at UConn, and we were pretty close to get it at Storrs, and last minute they're redoing both Gamble and XL this year, so the place is all the seats are out. So we knew we couldn't do it, but for the UConn fan that's like, oh man, I don't want to go out to Syracuse. If and when we get this at Connecticut, it's insane. Like Coach Boeheim was here on Wednesday, or when was it? When did we play? Friday? I forgot what day. But anyway, he was here, and this place is packed. I think this holds about 2,000 to 3,000 people, and there wasn't a parking space open in the parking lot. So for UConn fans to really appreciate what could happen if we get this in Connecticut, it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Who's been the biggest surprise of this? The roster has a little bit of turnover from last year's team. Who's been the biggest surprise of this year's team? UConn, and then non-UConn related.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on UConn. I've seen, I think the Ville lost. Like any one of the bigger teams have been doing this. I mean, I think this is the 12th year that this tournament has been in. So any of the big upsets are pretty wild. I know that Syracuse got a player, a Kansas player that I talked with Tyler, and he's like, yeah, he's really good. For us, guys like Kasim have been amazing. Like he's wild. Eli from Clemson. Eli is such a great guy. And it's funny, these guys, although Eli went to Clemson, and we have Whitehead, who's a Seton Hall guy. For Big East fans, I think a lot of Seton Hall fans are pretty upset we got him. These guys they're all about UConn. I mean, Whitehead told me UConn was his first choice, McDonald's All-American, and ended up didn't even get a call from UConn, which was funny. And then Jordan Jones, I think, is going to have a breakout game. We don't have, like last year we had RJ and we had Joey, RJ, and we had a deep backcourt. We still have a deep backcourt this time, but with RJ not here, I'm hoping Jordan Jones just goes out and goes crazy. He's young. I think he was a little bit nervous playing with some of the guys 2 days ago, but he's ready to make it happen.
So one of the things that the TBT has that is different, and I think the NBA All-Star Game has gone to this as well, is the Elam ending, right? What do you, as a basketball fan, what do you love about that, and what do you not like about that?
What I don't like about it is last year when we were down huge to Penn State, Ryan just was Boatright was just like, all right, let's go. And he started taking the team on his back, and we cut it, I think, from a 20-point deficit to getting really close. And then there's only so many things you can do, because even if you foul and they make shots, it just goes to that 8 points and it's over. What I love about it is we have killers and assassins on our team, like Brian Boatright, who has no problem dribbling over half court, getting to the TBT logo and shooting beyond NBA to win the game and just act like it's nothing. So that's what I love. So if we're in a position to win, and I know we have guys like Rodney Purvis and Ryan Boatright with the ball in their hands, I'm pretty confident we're gonna close it out.
Okay. you mentioned this. If you win tonight against Vermont, you play a Syracuse team that has. I'm pretty sure that they're pretty entrenched in this TBT, that they've either won it in the past or have gone pretty far. What would beating a Syracuse team mean to you as someone who clearly was around for when Syracuse was in the Big East and what that meant? And what do you think it'll mean to UConn fans if we get to that step?
Yeah, so first of all, I got a banner right on the other side of my computer that says they won in 21. So they
Yep.
won the whole thing. This is a tough tournament to win just because to get all the players together and all that stuff. So as a UConn as a UConn alum and someone who's seen so many games and so many Big East tournaments, it's like it's not for UConn to beat Syracuse. We expect it. This is not a UConn. This is a UConn affiliated team, and we're building a brand, and we've been it for 2 years. So it would be massive for us to beat them on their home court, on their home turf in Syracuse, with all the fans that are going to be here. I mean, they were booing us. A lot of people stayed after, and they know what Ryan and some of these other guys have done. So it would be amazing. I also think we're expected to win some games even as a UConn affiliated with Boatright, but it will change everything if we can get out of here and get into the Elite Eight with 3 wins and go. If we win tonight, we're in the 16. We beat Syracuse, win the Elite Eight, and we move on. It will be massive for Stars of Storrs. It will also, I think, some of the guys that are that can play, that are kind of like, that are following us. We have our eyes on guys that I think if we would have lost the first game, they're going to be, those guys got a long way to go. Us winning a couple of games or getting out of here is going to totally change the trajectory of Stars of Storrs.
So I don't know if they do this anymore. When TBT first started, you could actually hook your betting interest to a team, and if they won, you actually got a piece of the pie. Do they still do any of that, or is that not the case?
I think there are odds. I think TBT put something out that in places where you can bet on it, but I have no idea. I think they ranked us pretty high as far as the odds, which was cool. But again, it's a tough tournament. The thing that's hard about it is even if we did it in UConn, and everybody's got the same issue, but if we did it in Connecticut, the problem we have is we got to get here. You have to get there. Even all the guys, I mean, DeAndre Daniels lives in Texas. There's boats in Arizona. So we still got to fly everybody in, and it gets expensive to fly everybody in a week before. So we flew everybody in 3 days before. So it's tough. So when you get back to how we're ranked the number 9 out of 64 teams or top 10 out of 64 teams, I don't know where that comes from. It's just probably because we're UConn affiliated.
Yeah, I think there's there might be some name recognition you got going for you there. So do you have a better appreciation for how coaches construct rosters now that you're doing something very similar but at this level?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially what Danny's dealing with NIL now and trying to, probably doesn't have the biggest wallet. You get teams like Arkansas and BYU with crazy donors. So us having to do the same thing. This is a brand and a business, and we have to piece things together and handle travel and meals and all those things. So, and we've had some great sponsors. I want to give Joey Calcaterra's dad, Rich, owns a company called EGG, and they've been a 2-year sponsor. Ted's, our trusty little bar in Stores, has been a 2nd-year donator and has been a great partner. So, when you go and you get your food at Ted's or your drinks at Ted's, they're involved in everything from supporting D'Amelio Huskies NIL to supporting this. So that whole thing and taking on this undertaking of being a GM, but I wouldn't be able to do it without the guys. I mean, Tyler's been phenomenal this year. Chris Smith was awesome last year, but Tyler brought his whole staff from St. Joe's, having this perspective of a Jeff Calhoun who's just information that he's just received from listening to his dad over 50 years has been incredible. And just overall, yeah, man, it's a real there's things that I've applied from my business, from marketing and building brands that are similar, from logos to social media and all. I'm pretty good at all that, but getting together to put the pieces together has been really interesting.
How different is it from, like you said, you mentioned like doing some of this on your own, in your own brands and kind of in marketing. How different is it in terms of you're kind of trying to make sure that all the pieces fit? Are you guys doing kind of what the coaches do from a recruiting standpoint, where you cast a wide net and then you create priorities, or like how did that structure work when you were trying to ask players to come on board?
Yeah, I mean, our priority obviously was to get UConn players, right?
Sure.
But we also had to balance out: are we better off with guys like Elijah Thomas? And Eli's been phenomenal. When you don't, we wouldn't have rather had Adama. We would have loved to have Dama in conjunction with Eli, because Eli's our second-year player here, and his family's awesome, and he's such a great guy. And he loves, although he's a Clemson guy, he loves UConn. So number one priority was to get UConn guys. And then we started to get some guys that are like, I don't feel like it. But I get it, right? Either
Sure.
Guys are in the NBA, or they just got back from Europe and they've been traveling on a grueling schedule overseas and they want to spend time with their family. So that's what we've been dealing with. Like Shabazz Napier is a perfect example. He gets home from overseas. He's got a family here. He wants to just relax and hang. So once we kind of said, all right, this is our UConn pot, and then, all right, how do we fill in? And I didn't really get involved in that. I got involved in if there was a financial issue with somebody, or making sure we have to take care of getting someone here. Me and Katie, who was an intern for us, who actually helped me with the collective in her senior year at UConn, was great. And that's it, and just making sure. But the coaches have handled things, and we've gotten a lot of people through UConn, which is interesting. Tyree plays at St. Joe's. Jordan, we got through. It's funny, he plays at Central, and Pat Sellers coaches at Central. I went to school with Rod Sellers, was center for UConn. So I actually text Pat a picture. I met Pat later on through Rod. So it's all kind of weird. It's connected. Boatright knew Whitehead, and he got him. So now, but the group is awesome. Like, and it's not guys, nobody's talking smack about UConn. They're like, when we get in the huddle, when we break, it's on three, UConn on three. So when everybody says it, so it's cool.
All right. I'm last couple questions here. Mostly
Sure.
Around how the guys are, vibing, right? You mentioned like, there's nobody bashing UConn, which is a good thing. But who surprised you in terms of their personality? Like the guys that you didn't know, that you've just been like, this guy is either funny, salt of the earth, or is maybe like the jokester. How do you guys keep it light?
Yeah, everybody. I mean, the locker room is hysterical. I feel like, dude, this is as much as I've had some incredible experiences with what's happened to my daughter and my family, like this is being a UConn geek and being in the locker room. And I definitely, know my role and don't never overstep, but the guys love bringing me involved in stuff. Eli is hilarious. And what's really cool is we got two kids, they're men. Two guys from the South in Jordan Jones and Kasim, and I get a lot of yes sir, no sir, and I'm like, but my wife's from Louisiana, so I get it. So, but everyone seems to have gelled, and we've done a lot of meals together. We went to barbecue last night, and everybody seems to be real. And there's a bunch of guys, it's their second year, but I've gotten even closer with DeAndre and Boatright's dad is here. And the other thing I forgot to mention is we got Michael Boatright, who's Ryan's brother. Ryan's younger brother is on the coaching staff with Tyler and everybody. So that makes it so everybody's really gelled. And, then you got a guy like Isaiah Whitehead, who's just a beast and was in the McDonald's All-American and played at Seton Hall and has been overseas. He's just yapping at the officials and he's a vet. So it's cool to see the mesh between veterans and young men like Jordan Jones who are just excited to be here.
Last question, Tyler Olander, your head coach. Is he more Coach Hurley or is he more Coach Calhoun? Like what's that style, especially when he's talking to the officials or the players?
He's a mix. I also, he coached under Calhoun. I've seen him very calm. We had some issues with getting some players on the roster. There was some, clicking a button and sending a form didn't get over to TBT, and we had some issues. And I seen him handle things professionally and calm. Chris Smith was hilarious in the locker room, last year because he was just kind of a bull in a china shop in the best way, but just like, more boisterous and yelling in the locker room. Tyler is cool, calm, collected, and even Jeff and everybody else, which I think, I thought Jeff's dad would have rubbed off on him. These guys, they command respect from the players, but they don't do it in an over the top way. Tyler's amazing, man. What a head coach he's been.
All right. Before we let you go, tell us where we can watch this tonight, and if there's anything else you'd like to promote, feel free.
Yeah, first, obviously, I want to shout out the sponsors, to all of our sponsors. We wouldn't be here without them. That's number one. Tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time on FS2. It's awesome. We have a really good Matt, who played at Arizona. I think he's going to be one of the guys talking about the game. He's been awesome. So I did an interview with him yesterday, and if you're sitting at home, Syracuse isn't that far of a ride, and we'd love to have you out here. I posted they gave us 40 tickets for friends and family. I think we used about 20, so we got some extra tickets. So anybody that wants to take the ride either today or Wednesday when we win, we'd love to have you.
All right. That's Mark D'Amelio. Hey, we really appreciate you at Big East Energy, and we appreciate you just being so involved with UConn athletics and kind of in helping not just the student athletes, but I'd be remiss to say that like I'm super excited that I get to work with you at times because I feel like you've done a lot. Like, even just last year, kind of giving away tickets to fans and people that support the Huskies. So just want to thank you for all that you do as well.
And Matt, like as much as we're a national program, we don't have the eyes on us that people think sometimes, and things like what you do. And, this is the second time I've been on your pod, and you've done a great job, and you're vocal on Twitter, and you're always standing up for UConn. So, man, it's appreciated right back at you, brother.
All right, man. Well, listen, go enjoy the day with the guys, and some good practice going on there. Ryan Boatright was creeping in the corner while you were talking about him. So I don't know if he heard you, so that he was probably like, what's going on over there? Hey, have a good rest of your day, and hey, go Stars of Storrs. Let's get that dub tonight.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Mark.
All right, brother. That's Mark D'Amelio of D'Amelio Collective and of Stars of Storrs. This has been another great episode of the Hoopscat Pod, guys. We'll check you next time.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. UConn, baby. Home of the champions.